Hey, leader, if you're second guessing decisions that you used to make with confidence, I want you to lean in and pay attention and grab a pen and paper because that indecision isn't wisdom, it's overload. And in this episode, it's all about why smart leaders are freezing at the worst possible time. What's actually happening in those moments? There's too much input. There are too many perspectives. There's a fear of downstream fallout, meaning my people that are down from me, there's going to be problems and they're going to revolt, or the upstream fallout because the leaders that are above me are sitting in a boardroom making decisions and I'm not involved in those conversations, or the leadership by comment decision-making process, meaning I'm on the Slack channel and I'm making my decisions based on the comments that I'm seeing written in the Slack channel. Stop it. Back in the day, we used to use cattle prods on the farm to get the animals to move, mostly the cows. Sometimes we had to use it with others. But here's what a cattle prod does. Well, it gives you a zap. And when everyone's opinion matters, leadership disappears. And that should have just zapped somebody, whether you're in the front row or the back row of this conversation today. When everyone's opinion matters, leadership disappears and you just failed as a leader. You're freezing at the worst time because you're waiting for consensus and you're waiting for approval and you're waiting for everyone to weigh in on the why or the what you're doing. Stop it. I worked with a leader a few years ago, and in all transparency, I'll out myself. It's not that it didn't end well. We didn't get to the outcomes that I saw for this leader because he couldn't see them for himself. He was waiting for it was a family owned business, and he was waiting for others to be the decision points. He was waiting for others to weigh in, and he was the ultimate decision maker. He had all the power and authority, but he gave it up to the influence of other people that didn't have the experience, that didn't have the leadership level or the risk factors based on position in the organization. And he ended up he was paralyzed by choice, paralyzed himself because everyone else's opinions mattered more than his. And that was when people also lost trust in him because they knew they could sway him if needed. Humans can't decide when stakes feel permanent, judgment feels public, and mistakes feel unforgivable. Remember that. And if you're waiting for certainty, you've now just abandoned momentum. And it's how leaders continuously abandon momentum. Waiting for uncertainty or waiting for certainty is how leaders abandon momentum. And you have a decision to make. And this is your decision reset moment right now. Decide with enough information, but decide what enough information looks like. And that doesn't mean everybody gets a voice all the time. Sometimes, yes, but not all the time. Not if you're leading. You want to take a cross section of information, sure. But you want to make the decision on what is enough information and name what you're willing to adjust later. How are you willing to course correct it later? That's something you can do up front. And stop pretending that delay is neutrality or neutral, or delay is okay because, somehow we think we have enough time. Well, get to the decision so you can get to the more of the what's next. That neutrality also burns people out. It's exhausting for people because they don't know what's immediate, what's urgent, and what's neutral. We've got time. That's on you. So decide what enough information is to make your decisions, name what you're willing to adjust later, and stop pretending that delay is neutral. Decisiveness as discipline, not bravado. This is the way you step in and self-command. Decisiveness as a discipline, not bravado. And here's my last and final for you on this real quick and in a hurry episode today, because movement creates clarity and waiting kills it. So if you're freezing in the boardroom, if you're freezing in client meetings at the worst possible time, you want to go back to this. Movement creates clarity and waiting kills it. So if you're freezing, you're killing you're killing momentum for yourself and for others, and you get to change it. You get to be the deciding factor in that. Waiting for certainty is how good leaders abandon momentum. And it's what derails a team very quickly. And remember my cattle prod moment. When everyone's opinion matters, leadership disappears. Hey, thanks for joining me in the Sandbox today. I always enjoy these conversations where we get to have the real, I'll call them cattle prod moments, the bold moments of truth telling with each other. Because I know that we're not born with leadership. It's something that we grow into. And you took time to grow into your next level of leadership today. And I thank you for that. And I want to challenge you to share this episode with someone that you see that maybe is stalling out, they're freezing out because their indecisiveness has got the best of them, or they're waiting for everybody to weigh in on the Slack channel. Share it with them so they can take a page from the Sandbox today and grow into their next level of leadership. Hey, make it a great day. We'll see you next week. God bless you.